Hey, welcome back everybody. This is going to be a quick help video about how to create an income statement. You're going to need the following things to do an income statement. You're going to need a blank one. You're also going to need a completed worksheet. And then finally, you're going to need a pencil. So go ahead and pause the video, get all those things in front of you, and we'll get started here in a minute. Okay, I hope you have all of the stuff that you need. You can see over here on the left-hand side I have a worksheet, and over here on the right-hand side I have an income statement. So, quick little reminder about what an income statement is and when you do one. Income statements are done on the very last day of the month. They are part of step 4 of the accounting cycle. So you do these at the same time as when you do the balance sheet. I've had a few people ask me if it matters what order you do them in, and actually it does not. You're going to do them pretty much right together, back to back. So if you want to do the balance sheet first and then the income statement, or vice versa, that's fine. It doesn't really matter because you're going to be doing them at the same time. All right, what is the purpose of an income statement? The main reason you do one of these is so that you can compare how much money your business is earning versus how much money your business is spending. So the things that we're going to be comparing is our sales versus our expenses. The income statement numbers are on your worksheet. They are all in this section right here. And once again, one reason you do a worksheet is so that you can separate all of your accounts into what kind of document it goes into. We've already done a balance sheet, and here's the income statement. So let's go ahead and get started. Up here at the top, we always put the name of the business. So I'm going to put Extreme Adventures. Beneath that, I always put the name of the document. This is an income statement. And then finally, you put the day of the month. This is May 31st, 2014. These are always done on the last day of the month, every time. All right, a couple things to notice on the income statement. We have a column right here. The main purpose of this column is to put down all of your accounts that you're going to be using. So that is your revenue accounts, the 400s, and your expense accounts, which are the 500 accounts. This section right here acts as a column to do some addition and some math. And then this section over here acts as another column to do some final numbers. And then finally, probably one of the most difficult parts of this, although it's really not that tough once you get the hang of it, is you have a section right here that's called percent of sales. And basically at the very end, you're going to find what percent each expense is compared to your sales. And we'll do that together, so don't worry about it yet. All right, on an income statement, we first start with revenue. So I'm going to type revenue right here with a colon. This is my header. That's why I put a colon there on the left, or on the right, excuse me. Right below that, I'm going to list all my revenue accounts. I only have one right now. It's sales. Remember, these are your 400 accounts. For sales, I'm going to skip this column, and I'm going to go all the way over to this right side column. My current balance for sales is $5,075. So $5,075 right there. And that's it. That's my only revenue account. Next is expenses. So once again, I'm going to put expenses with a colon after it. This acts as my header. Right below that, I'm going to list every single expense account I have, and I'm going to just tab over or indent just a little bit. So advertising expense. By the way, I'm getting these from right here. I'm just going to go straight down the line, listing every single one of them, and then listing all their balances. Insurance expense, miscellaneous expense, rent expense, and supplies expense. All right, and then I'm going to list their totals. And this is going to go in this column on the left. This is kind of like a temporary placeholder column. We're going to end up adding these numbers together and putting it over here. So we're just going to list all of their balances right here. Starting right here with advertising, we've got a $300 balance on the debit side. Insurance expense is $200. Miscellaneous expense is $750. Rent expense is $1,800. And supplies expense is $850. All right, and then just like we did on the balance sheet, I'm going to put a line right here to show that I'm about to do some math. And beneath here, I'm going to put total expenses. Now, when you're looking at this, you're probably thinking the number's going to go right here. And it makes sense to put it there because you have all of your balances right here and you put that line right there. However, we're actually going to put the total expenses number over here. And the reason we do this is so that we can show that we are going to subtract it from the sales. And the sales is over here in the right-hand column as well. So I'm going to add up these 5 numbers together. And when I do that, I get $3,900. Finally, to figure out how much income I made, or another way to say that is how much profit I made, I'm going to take the amount of money that I earned, which is your sales, and I'm going to subtract the amount of money that I spent, which is all of these expenses. So $5,075 minus $3,900 is going to equal my net income. And that is $1,175. One more time, I'm going to put that line there just to show that I did a little bit of math. If you ever want to double check yourself, and of course you want to do that because you don't want to turn it in if it's wrong, this number right here should be the exact same number that appears on your net income line on your worksheet. So you see how it says 1,175 right here? It also says it over here. All right, great. We are almost done. The very last thing is to fill out this column right here, which is all of our percentages. And it says it is the percent of sales. Well, our sales number is 5,075. So we are going to find the percent of all of these numbers here and all of these numbers here compared to 5,075. If for any reason you have forgotten how to do a percentage, you take the smaller number and you divide it by the larger number. And you're probably going to get a large fraction. And then to convert that into a percentage, you can either multiply by 100, or a lot of times people just say move the decimal place 2 points to the right. So let me bring up a calculator real quick. Here it is. And let's do a couple of these together, and then I'll let you do the rest on your own. So for advertising expense, I'm going to take $300, and I'm going to divide that by 5,075. I hit enter, and I get this huge decimal place, 0.05911 and so on. Now if I want to find the percentage, I can move this decimal 2 places to the right, so it's going to be 5.911. And on an income statement, you're going to round that to the nearest whole number. So 5.9 is going to round to 6%. So I'm going to put 6% right there. Let's do one more just to make sure you got it. Let's find out insurance expense. So I'm going to take 200 divided by my sales number, which is 5,075. Once again, I get this really long decimal. Take that decimal place, move it 2 points to the right, so I get 3.94. I'm going to round that up to 4%. Okay, go ahead and pause the video, try the rest of those on your own, and then when you're ready to check yourself, hit play again. Okay, everybody, so you can see that I have filled in the rest of the percentages. Miscellaneous expense was 15% of our sales. Rent was 35% of our sales. Supplies was 17%. All of our expenses added together was 77% of our sales. And finally, our net income, or our profit, was 23% of our sales. Real quick, before I let you go, what do these numbers actually mean, or why would we need those? If you're the owner of a business, or maybe you're the manager or the boss of some type, these numbers would be really important to you because you would want to see if you're spending too much money or maybe not enough money on something in particular. So if you can look at your sales and compare them to your expenses, you can see how much of the money that you're earning goes towards a certain thing. So if I was this manager, I would maybe look at my rent and say, man, 35% of my sales is going towards my rent. That means almost one out of every $3 that I earn gets spent on rent. So at this point, I would maybe consider finding a new place, or maybe trying to renegotiate my rent expense, or even better, trying to raise my sales number. So this just kind of helps a manager or an owner make some decisions about their business. Okay, guys, that's done with the income statement. You are ready to move on to step 5, which is recording your adjusting entries and then closing all of your temporary accounts. And then you are done with the accounting cycle. So congratulations. Thank you.